Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah dapat
Salam.
bersama malam ni. Ya, thank you Pak Razak. Thank you semua yang menonton. Kita ada beberapa rakan yang sedang menonton bersama kita malam ini. Welcome back to Say It As It Is. Alhamdulillah malam ni kita telah pun sampai ke episod yang ke-11 dan saya seperti biasa akan introkan sikit kepada para pendengar kita malam ni sebagai revision ataupun sebagai mukadimah kepada mereka yang first time join kita ya dalam program Say It As It Is. Nama saya Zulfa Azhan, bersama-sama saya dengan saya malam ini one of the co-founders of carabetul.com, Pak Razak Manaf. Welcome Pak Razak.
Terima kasih.
Ya, okey. So saya akan refresh sikit Pak Razak apa yang telah kita sentuh sebelum ini. So untuk rakan-rakan yang sedang mendengar, topik perbincangan kita di Say It As It Is ni sebenarnya adalah berkisar pada fasa penerokaan bisnes ataupun pada fasa-fasa awal kita nak memulakan sesuatu bisnes ya. Dan fokus kita yang patut kita berikan pada fasa ini adalah menentukan produk yang betul untuk pasaran yang betul menggunakan bisnes model yang betul. Ini semua kita harus pastikan sebelum kita besar-besaran melaburkan masa, duit dan sumber-sumber lain yang sangat terhad ketika kita hendak memulakan sesebuah perniagaan. So semasa fasa-fasa ini dilalui, fasa-fasa awal penerokaan ini dilalui, kebarangkalian untuk melakukan kesilapan besar yang boleh membunuh perniagaan kita pada peringkat bayi tersebut boleh dielakkan. Okay? Kesilapan-kesilapan ini mungkin mengakibatkan pengorbanan kos yang sangat tinggi yang boleh menjadi beban-beban baru kepada bisnes-bisnes tersebut dan menjadikan bisnes-bisnes itu yang belum lagi matang sebagai sebuah bisnes yang kurang kompetitif berbanding mereka yang telah berada di pasaran. Kita boleh kategorikan kesilapan-kesilapan ini kepada 4 bahagian, iaitu kesilapan yang berkaitan dengan founder itu sendiri, founder bisnes ya. Yang kedua adalah dengan berkaitan dengan pasaran, yang ketiga berkaitan dengan produk dan seterusnya berkaitan dengan perancangan. So semua kategori ini telah pun kita bincangkan contoh-contohnya dalam episod-episod yang lepas, tapi anda masih boleh follow dan tonton di www.carabetul.com ataupun di Facebook page Cara Betul. Okay. Khusus pada minggu lepas kita telah mula membincangkan macam mana ataupun bagaimana untuk mengelakkan kesilapan yang berkaitan dengan founder ataupun pemula bisnes itu sendiri. Malam ini insya-Allah kita akan bincangkan dengan Pak Razak dan juga para pendengar semua ya. Kita harapkan kita ada komunikasi dua hal yang lebih banyak pada malam ini. Sama-sama bincangkan macam mana untuk mengurangkan kesilapan-kesilapan yang berkaitan dengan pasaran dan produk. Okay? Dan sebelum kita pas mula pada Pak Razak, ingin kita ingatkan kepada mereka yang baru join, program Say It As It Is akan membincangkan topik-topik yang berkisar dengan fasa-fasa awal sesebuah perniagaan ataupun fasa penerokaan ya, bukan fasa matang ataupun fasa mengembangkan bisnes. Kita bincangkan di fasa-fasa ataupun di peringkat awal perniagaan. Okey Pak Razak, so kalau Pak Razak dah sedia, mungkin kita boleh mula bincangkan topiknya Pak Razak, bagaimana untuk mengelakkan kesilapan yang berkait dengan pasaran dan produk. Silakan Pak Razak.
Okay. Terima kasih Zulfa. Apa yang saya nak sebutkan bagi permulaan ni, bila kita nak mencari kelemahan dan sebab-sebab kelemahan pasaran dan produk
Okay.
kita kena faham susah. I find it difficult to separate the two.
Okay.
To me, market and products are very closely linked. Dia ni macam orang kata macam kembar siam lah.
Okay.
You cannot talk about one without talking about the other.
Mesti sebut dua-dua sekali.
Dua-dua. Pasal is really interlinked.
Okay.
We cannot analyze a market without talking about the products meant to serve that market. Kalau market tu tak ada produk, it's not a market.
Okay.
Dia tak ada benda yang nak dibeli kan. But at the same time, kita tak boleh review produk independent of the market. a product is only a product if there is a demand for it.
Yeah.
It's just something that you put on the shelf lah.
Kalau tak ada, jadi tak ada nilai lah kan?
Tak ada nilai lah, pasal tak ada buyer kan. So, in order to understand the mistakes and how to overcome mistakes relating to product market ni, we must acknowledge that they are so interlinked that you cannot pecahkan kelemahan atau the mistake relating to product and the mistake relating to market.
Kalau Piramli kata ibarat irama dan lagu lah Pak Razak ya?
Irama dan lagu lah, tak tahu yang mana yang irama, mana yang lagu.
Okay.
Tapi memang betul tu, macam dia irama dan lagu lah, kalau satu tak cukup, dia kena dua.
Yalah tu. Ya betul.
So that's why for tonightnya case, I've decided not to look at market mistakes on its own and product mistake on its own, but look at it as a common item. Okay. Now, before we know how to overcome the mistakes, which we have discussed earlier in previous sessions, kan? I don't want to repeat that again because there is a recording that everybody can look, can watch for or listen to. Now, secara menyeluruh, the mistakes that product or market related ni is actually the outcome of various common sources lah. The first one is what I think shallow understanding. The founders in this case lah, or the team. Their understanding of product and market too is a bit shallow. And they don't really understand the interrelationship tu. The irama dan lagu tadi tak begitu faham mendalam lah.
Tak jive sangat between
macam produk ni dia ada komponennya. Dia ada featuresnya, dia ada specsnya, dia ada featuresnya, dia ada benefitsnya, dia ada value-nya. You understand? You got to see the product ni as a total package. And then so is when you talk about market. Market ni, there's not one market. There are various types of market. And each type ada different structure. Say a new market is different from an existing market. So the structures are different. Market which is B2B, business to business, structure dia berbeza from B to C, business to consumer. So kalau kepahaman dia tidak begitu mendalam kan, sometimes you tak faham why your product ni tidak sesuai for this particular market. Maybe because this product ni yang you trying to launch ni is meant for a business. But you think you can launch it and hope to get buyers from the consumer section. To become a mass market. So this can result in mistakes lah.
Ada, kalau saya perhatikan Pak Razak, kalau kita cakap dari sudut movie lah Pak Razak. Saya tak
movie,
pasti Pak Razak suka tengok Bollywood ke tak, mungkin dulu ada cerita Sanggam ke apa ke kan. Tapi apa yang kita apa yang kita perhati, apa yang saya perhatilah, kalau cerita-cerita Hindustan ni, dia mesti happy ending, ada lagu banyak, lepas tu ada menari-nari, ada cinta-cinta. Whereas kalau kita tengok cerita Mak Saleh, apa nama ni, kadang-kadang misteri, kadang-kadang cerita tu tergantung, tak ada happy ending pun, very gloomy, very dark, very scary pun kadang-kadang. Tapi kebanyakan cerita di Hindustan, di India ni, dia mesti ada lagu, mesti ada nyanyi. So mungkin tu contoh Pak Razak, kenapa
there is an example of a product with different features. These different features is the one that give you different benefits. These benefits is the one that produce the value to the customer. Cerita Hindustan ni value orang nak tengok cerita Hindustan happy. Hero mesti tak kalah ni.
Ya tu.
Heroin mesti lawa bagi nak gila. Kan? So the features tu begitu. Benefitnya begitu. The value begitu. Value-nya value for money, bayar RM1, 60 sen, mesti 3 jam.
Okey, puas hati.
Mati. You understand? So
Yeah.
this is one example of a product which have different features, different benefit, provide different value to fit a different market segment.
Okay, understood.
So one of the mistake ni is when they don't understand this relationship.
I see.
Produknya ada, featuresnya ada, benefitnya ada, value-nya pun ada, tapi marketnya salah.
Macam tak kena lah
Tak kena. So there is a mismatch lah. Now the other source of mistake ni, dulu saya pernah sebut product market fit ni.
Okay.
How the product must fit the market. And there is a rationale for it. And this is one source of errors lah made by new entrepreneurs or new founders lah essentially. Dia asyik mengejar to make sure the product ni sebenarnya is the best that they can do lah.
Okay.
But they don't realize if it is the best but it doesn't fit the demand of the market. It's worse if they don't even have a target market.
I see.
When you don't have a target market, you'll never achieve product market fit. You cannot fit.
Nak padankan macam mana kan?
You tak ada screw tu salah size kan.
Tak boleh nak masuk kat bolt tu.
So that's why they say sometimes you try to put a square peg into a round hole, doesn't work.
Pak Razak, kita ada soalan daripada Cik Hamid Karim, pendengar setia kita. So I will read it out. Cik Razak, Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Can you help clarify about product and market development? Which one should come first? What about the product positioning in the marketplace?
Okay, all right. Now, I will talk about it later, but to give you a quick answer, it should be done concurrently. Okay. Product development is how you want to develop the features of the product, the benefits that the product need to provide, and the value that the product is giving to your target market. Now, it should be done while you are trying to develop your market. What is market development? Market development is to understand the components of the market, the features of your market, and which particular segment of the market that you want to target. Now, in product development, you develop the product. In market development, once you have identified your segment, okay, your next job is to go into the market and see how you can find a position in that market. That's how you develop your market. So it's not a physical thing. Product ni sometimes could be physical lah. Although service tu tak tangible, tapi still there is something that you can do more on the physical nature to make it tangible.
Basically Pak Razak, yang cakap pasal market tadi tu, we have to understand the food chain jugalah maksudnya. Siapa di atas, siapa yang terakhir.
You have to immerse yourself in the market and really understand how the market works. The inner workings of that market. But that's not market development. That's market analysis. You develop the segment that you want to target for. Now, how do you develop the market? You tak boleh develop pasal market tu bukan you punya. What you develop is how to develop the relationship that you have in the market. Now you have to find ways of how to attract that market. That's part of market development tu. You got to find ways of how to attract the market, how you have to find ways how to get them to buy from you. That's considered market development. Then how do you want to serve the market? How do you want to retain the market? After you attract them, you convince them to buy from you, you serve them, and then you want to retain them. And then you
basically
find
the relationship with the market tu lah is market
it's
development.
part of market development, the total
Okay.
chain lah. Sampai besok you reach a stage how you want to grow the market.
Hmm.
Grow in terms of size and grow also in terms of upsell. So that is all related to market development.
Market
Now,
development.
in doing so, you must make sure the product ni tadi matches
Hmm.
with the market. So this is where I say you don't develop your product and your market independent of each other. You do it concurrently, which is quite different from the traditional way people are doing.
Okay.
Macam saya dulu bawa kerja dulu kan, macam produk tu is a separate entity. Bila dah siap tu, kita tenanglah produk ni kepada produk sales kan. Now go and sell.
Macam force it to the market lah ya.
In a way, yes lah. Tapi kalau the company been around for quite some time, they have an idea lah what the market is expecting. But nowadays, market changes so fast.
I see.
If you are not able to update your understanding, you'll be surprised that you are considered out of date lah. Tak ada matching lah.
I see.
I hope that helps.
Answer. Okay. Carry on, Pak Razak.
Now, this is what I call about product market fit tadi lah. And then the other thing that which I've explained a little bit just now in answering to the question. There is a methodology. There is a process. There is a method. There is a technique. There are tools that can use to develop market and to develop product.
Okay.
Produk tu banyak orang dah biasa kan. Oh, I develop product based on step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Depending on your background lah. Kalau you are very engineering based company tu adalah the engineering technique dia tu. Waterfall technique lah, stage gate lah. But there are tools and processes.
Okay.
And there are also tools and process to develop the market. How do you want to attract the market? How do you want to identify which market to target? How do you analyze the market? What can you do to form a relationship with the market? All these are market development kan. This is one of the biggest source of mistakes created by especially new entrepreneurs or new business owners related to the product in the market. Dia punya metodologi ni caca marbra lah orang kata.
Caca marba
Caca marba ke marbra, which one is right, I don't know. But dia tak ada systematic.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that you have to be very detailed. Depend on the size of your business lah.
Okay.
Kalau you nak jual murtabak Pak Din kat Keramat tu kan, tak adalah dia buat begitu detail. Tapi dia ada. Dia ingat lu dia buat sampel.
Okay. Pasar Keramat
Pasar Keramat dia tak ada dulu, dia famous tu. Dia buat sampel, jadi kami ni regular kat situ kan dipanggil lah. Dia bagi Pak Din nak belanja, dia kata rupanya dia buat prototype.
So rasa, so bagi feedback.
So nak tahu market ni, what are the things that the market want, what are the does this product matches. There's a product market fit lah.
Ada juga lah tu usaha dia ke arah tu.
Ada, tapi dia tak ada gunakan perkataan macam kita pakai ni. Tapi ada cara dia. That's why I say some people forget. Just because they cannot articulate the way we articulate, that doesn't mean that these small businesses are not using some of the technique that we are talking about. They are using, tapi dia tak boleh articulate ya. Dia tak articulate, but maybe they don't use it as comprehensively as those bigger companies lah.
We have apa ni Pak Razak, soalan seterusnya also from our friend Cik Hamid Karim. Boleh Pak Razak?
Boleh.
Okay, how does the advertisement contribute to the best positioning of the product in the eye of consumers?
Okay. Positioning ni ada dua konsep positioning. One, you position yourself in the market against competitors. Okay. The other one is you position yourself in the customer's mind. It's a mental positioning.
Okay.
One is a market positioning. One is a mental positioning. Okay.
Right.
Out of the two, the one that's tougher is the mental positioning.
Mental.
Now, the question tadi apa dia?
Okay, how does the advertisement contribute to the best
Yeah.
positioning of the product in the eye of consumers?
Okay. You can use advertising as a way to convince the consumer of who you are or what you are. In other words, you want to position your company, you do things or you say things that project a message to the reader or the viewer of you as the company. And
Is that mental positioning?
Mental goes beyond that. Mental have a lot more interaction.
Cool.
This one is more like arm slang.
Okay.
Market positioning ni macam arm slang tau.
Hmm.
Mental ni sekarang banyak orang buat ni sebenarnya is to achieve that mental positioning tu. Where you have macam kita interact with our potential clients or customer
Yeah.
kan,
Yeah.
through social media.
Hmm.
That's beyond market, you know. We want to form a
Okay.
relationship. We want to put ourselves in the consumer's mind.
Okay.
Dia gini, kalau kita don't do anything, the consumer will have a position of you, will have an opinion of you,
Okay.
dependent of what you say.
Okay.
If their viewpoint is so important, you better be a bit more proactive lah, trying to influence your position in their mind.
In aligning them, is it?
Let's put this way lah. You want to create a position in the market. You want to create position in your consumer's mind.
Okay.
If you don't do anything about it, the market will position you, especially your competitors. Your competitor will position you.
Okay.
And your individual customer ni, if you don't make attempt to fill in that space in the mind tu, dia akan cara dia sendiri will position you in their mind without you having any input.
I see.
Nasib you lah.
So mungkin kawan-kawan saya yang tak tahu saya buat kerja-kerja engineering, dia nampak saya ni tukang main gendang je lah kot contoh.
Betul lah, pasal dia tak tahu. Dia fikir Zulfa top of mind, position dia, brand dia Zulfa, dia tengok dia asyik main gendang je.
Okay, understood.
Now, tadi tentang advertisement ni, advertisement is only one of the ways of how you want to position your product, your brand, and your company.
Okay.
Only one of the ways. There are many ways nowadays with internet. Advertising have taken a new form lah. That's why people form Facebook group. People form internet various platform lah.
Betul.
It's not advertising per se as we know it lah. It's creating relationship.
I see.
As you create relationship, you hope to influence their perception. This is where the blade cuts two ways. Kalau silap-silap you tak pandai interact with your you will cut yourself lah.
Macam jerangkap diri sendiri lah.
This is what you see happening a lot of times when I notice these people who are not very well versed in how to use the social media.
Okay.
Dia tengok orang lain pakai, dia pun pakai lah. Tapi in the way dia pakai tu akan mencederakan dia sendiri.
Betul lah tu.
That's why benda ni you have to have ilmu. Kalau tak ada ilmu, elok cari orang yang ada ilmu untuk menolong you.
Nampak buruk nanti.
Okay. Because nowadays it's very hard for you to hide.
Betul.
Okay. Any more question on that?
Ada soalan seterusnya Pak Razak from Jamie Abdullah. So is it wise to personally connect with the market like self-branding?
Okay, depend on what you're doing, what product you're selling.
Okay.
There are some product which need to be closely linked with the owner. Fashion product.
Okay.
Macam when we talk about fashion, apa fashion yang paling ternama dalam dunia ni lah, yang kita boleh off the cuff lah. Nama siapa tu selalunya?
Yang dah pergi Australia tu K Fashion bukan
Tak, yang kita tahu macam Christian Dior.
Oh, okay.
Chanel. Tu siapa tu? Itu personality.
Okay.
This is where if the product requires the owner to project dia punya personality on the product, and then that person have to create a persona.
Okay.
Macam yang famous kat tudung ni, yang sekarang ni tak tahu famous ke tidak pasal dia dah kahwin. Dulu masa dia nak dara dulu famous tu.
Siapa dah?
Nilofa.
Nilofa.
Tudung dia biasa je.
Okay.
Tapi pasal dia je tu. Dia create that brand. But not all things you can do that. Macam kita buat consulting. Consulting needs the face behind it. Because yang consulting ni sebenarnya very personal.
Orang tu
macam doktor. Although the medical association doesn't allow you to advertise, tapi you notice berapa banyak doktor sekarang advertise dianya tu.
Saya tengok hospital pun duk papa muka doktor kat pagar.
Pasal dia sekarang dari sustain, dia kata it's a very personalized service. Anything to do with fashion, with personalized service, the person providing that service is the brand. Simplicity. Yang kita ingat kalau simplicity ni muka Siti Nurhaliza tu. Macam kita tak kisahlah kan apa orang dia jual, kita tengok muka dia. Macam that's where influencers come in.
Okay. Pak Razak, kalau saya tak tahulah ada relationship ke tak tapi ada orang pernah timbulkan ni pada saya lah. Berkaitan dengan brand dan personal ni, nama personal. Kalau tengok dari sudut contoh agama Islam sendirilah Pak Razak yang diperjuangkan tu adalah agama Islam. Bukannya Nabi Muhammad is wider than that, is agama Islam, tapi Nabi Muhammad as a personality tu sangat-sangat ke depan. So benda tu terpakai untuk benda-benda yang lain ke Pak Razak?
Sama. Pasal nak explain benda tu, okay, it's easier if you tag on to something.
I see.
That's why sometimes advertisement dia kata, oh, I'm the latest version of I'm the Malaysian version of Amazon.com.
Okay.
Kalau dia nak explain panjang cerita, tapi dia kata I'm the Malaysian version of Amazon.com, orang now I understand what you say.
Okay.
Tapi dia nak tumpang brand Amazon.com tu as a leading brand lah. Dia tak sebutlah I'm a Malaysian version of XYZ.com yang orang tak kenal lah. That's why personality yang kita connect to the product ni must be something that orang boleh sudah ada following lah.
Mudah nak trigger pemahaman lah
Pemahaman dan juga dia punya attraction tu.
Okay Pak Razak, coming back to our discussion tonight, kita ada 10 ke 12 minit lagi. Maybe Pak Razak nak share the next point.
The next point is, tadi kita masih bercerita what are the sources that lead to mistakes in product and market ni. I've talked about shallow understanding, I talk about product market fit, I talk about using the wrong methodology kan. One common source of mistake is inadequate testing, verifications, iterations and pivot. Dia tak test benda tu. Dia buat assumption tu, dia fikir okey lah, ni betul lah ni. Pasal apa betul? Kawan aku cakap, kawan aku dah berniaga lama tau. Aku dah tahu benda ni akan jadi punya. But that is something that a source of mistakes, especially on product. The other one is what just now Cik Ahmed cerita tu is very very closely connected to what I'm going to say lah. Developing product and the customer or the market independent of each other. I see a lot of this happening in the big companies lah. Dia ada product team dia, maybe a technical team, and then dia ada marketing team dia. Okay, product to develop independent of the market. So there's no constant iteration, there's no testing as the product is being developed.
Okay.
Bila dah siap, barulah first time dia introduce it to the market. And this is one of the sources of failure lah, many times.
Okay.
And then I've also noticed a lot of time lack of discipline and patience. Tak sabar nak launch.
I see.
Gairah.
Kejar deadline satu hal lagi.
Nak kejar deadline. Siap tak siap nak kejar deadline. And then disiplin tu maksudnya dari segi never use assumption as a basis for decision making. And never be deluded by what I call information that make you feel good. Terus never ask your family and good friends lah about their opinion lah. They always say. So these are the main sources of mistakes. Now, how do you overcome? How do you prevent these mistakes from happening?
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to tackle each of these sources step one by one in a very specific manner, because most of them are because of some broad solution lah. You can solve this using broad solution.
All right. One
very common, which I've noticed, especially for people who have not had that much experience business, especially katalah be honest lah, those that work in the government for so long kan.
Okay.
Dia jabatan pula tak ada exposure to business. And then dia nak decide pencen awal ke, whatever reason kan, dia nak buat business.
Yeah.
So there is a general lack of knowledge.
Okay.
Skills and methodology. They don't have the basic skills. What skills they have is not suitable lah. Kalau dia ada skill on government administrative bureaucratic process kan, memang tak boleh pakai lah. But if that is the only thing they have, they will use it. I had one experience trying to help a guy lah who have gone through that phase. Dia dulu ex-government servant, for whatever reason pun I tak ingat lah. They took early retirement, they go into business. The first thing he did, get inside an office and produce what they call it in bahasa Malaysia tu, the SOP, Office Manual.
Untuk office?
Wow. The first thing he did.
Okay.
And then he put up this code of, apa ni, on the wall dia tengok, dia macam code of ethics lah.
Conduct.
Conduct. Yeah. And he was very proud of it, but it doesn't take him long to realize he actually should spend time on trying to uncover what is it that he want to do lah.
Faham. Dia dah biasa buat benda tu dulu.
Pasal he was in the government. So itu dia tahu, itu dia buat lah.
Okay.
Because he was not exposed sebenarnya. And dia pula tak banyak bertanya, and because dia tak ada network
Okay.
So I really help him to wake up to the new reality lah, that he's no more a government servant now.
Yeah.
No, he have to widen his network lah. He have to understand.
Prioritize lah, I believe.
He have to understand the basic skills that he got to develop lah. Now the other thing is, we are talking now on exploring, trying to discover the best product for the best market for the best business model. Kita belum implement lagi. This is still the pre-business stage.
Permulaan. Yeah.
Many of them doesn't know what are the right processes, tools, and technique. They may attend courses that provide them processes, tools, and technique after the company has been launched. They mean processes, tools, technique, how to manage and operate a company. But what we want at this stage is processes, tools, and technique on how to explore and discover the right business model. Now, if you don't have that, then you could be making mistake lah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I personally do not know of any such courses in this country right now.
Itulah tu baru nak tanya, ada ke tempat belajar?
Tak ada. Luar negeri pun tak banyak. Ada satu je, tapi you kena pergi Stanford.
Kenapa Pak Razak ramai orang
Ini
tak
sebab
nampak ke?
all this while we have been very heavily influenced by what is being taught to MBA students.
Okay.
MBA student ni is Master in Business Administration.
Yeah.
You can only administer something yang dah ada. So
Ya.
kalau tak ada ilmu lain, itulah ilmu yang dia ajar.
Silap air bulan ramai yang beranggapan nak mula bisnes ni kalau ada MBA lagi ngam ni nak start ni.
Memang betul. Pasal saya buat MBA, banyak kawan-kawan saya yang alumni saya yang nak start bisnes datang jumpa saya, sebenarnya tak boleh pakai lah, dia kata. But now things are changing. To be fair, things are changing.
Okay.
There are many courses online. I notice they are slowly moving towards explorasi prior to execution.
Yeah.
So what we are doing here, we are focusing on not execution. Execution ni bersepah kat luar tu.
Ya, banyak dah.
Is the exploration. Now, if you don't know how to explore, how you going to discover the right business model? Because your exploration tools tu tak betul. You gunakan administrative tools for exploration, doesn't work.
Alright.
Now, that's the second one. The other way is, as I said earlier to Amir, you have to develop product and your market concurrently and iteratively. Iterative tu makna apa?
Berulang kali?
You berulang kali, you test, you get feedback, you iterate, you make changes. So it's not a linear follow a certain procedure, step 1, step 2. It is something that, well, in the book Business Model Generation, they panggil squiggly.
Squiggly.
You go, but this is something that is not for those who are used to working in a very linear fashion.
Yeah.
They are very uncomfortable lah.
I see.
Pasal you test sikit, katalah you want you develop your product. Product ini tahu feature ni. Okay? And then you test it with the market. Instead of liking that feature, they want another feature. And then you come back. You have to iterate. You have to make changes to your product.
Modify. Okay.
Modify. And then you go back again. And then at least, okay, one part dah settle. Now you look at, say, pricing. So there is this dynamic process that you go through. And some people, if you don't have discipline, you take shortcut.
Okay.
If you don't have patience, you ignore feedback. Especially if you are locked into a deadline. Ini deadline ni paling dangerous.
Yalah,
but that doesn't mean you can take your time. Because there are, if you study lean methodology, lean methodology, there are tools and techniques that you can apply. Because the idea here is not to waste time, not to waste resources, and be able to create what some people call prototype, some people call MVP, but I emphasize more on MVT, minimum viable test.
Okay.
Test tu jangan elaborate sangat. Kita nak tahu benda kecil je, tapi dia punya rak dia test tu macam nak. You got to find ways and means to test this in a low cost, fast manner. And there are ways to do it.
Bukan saja business tu lean, the test proses tu
test pun kena lean. Minimum apa ni? Minimum viable testing technique.
Okay.
Very lean testing method. Now the other thing is, which is encompassing all, you have to adopt the entrepreneurial mindset and behavior pattern.
Okay.
Kalau you don't have that, or you fight the entrepreneurial way of doing things, everything that I said earlier will not get done.
Pak Razak, kalau boleh kita spend about 2 minit saja untuk jawab soalan yang terakhir ni daripada Cik Hamid. Okay, so dia bertanya, Cik Razak, is it correct to assume that the market perception is important but the market perception does not necessarily give a correct representation about the reality of the product?
The word is perception.
Okay.
Perception is an opinion. Perception is what you think. It may not be true. It might be true. But what is important in marketing, perception is more important than the truth.
Oh, okay. That's a hashtag there. Perception
Macam
is more
politik
important than the
politik
truth.
kan.
Okay.
Perception win votes, not reality, Terus dia ada PR, dia ada perception in marketing. To them is reality.
Okay.
But perception is fragile. That's why people that can afford it spend a lot of money jealously protecting their image and perception.
I see.
Because perception is to a lot of people is reality.
Okay.
And this is the emotional part of people buying product. Remember, people buy product for 3 reasons. Number 1, for its functional value. Number 2, for its social outcome. Social outcome ni dia pakai produk tu, dia nampak orang look up to them lah. The other one is emotional. Dia feel satisfaction. But social and emotional ni are based on perception.
Yang first tu je yang factual kan, the function.
First saja, tapi people don't buy product based on logic. People buy product based on emotion. Dia based on emotion.
Dia dah guna lama pun dia perasan betul lah benda ni berguna.
Kadang tak guna pun, tapi dia force diri dia mengaku berguna pasal dia duit belanja banyak. Don't forget, people make decision based on emotion. But they justify using logic. Emotion too is perception. Okay. Emotion is perception. Dia can be real, dia can be wrong. Tapi for the person who hold that perception, that is dia punya reality lah.
Okay, Pak Razak, so I think that answers, if not 100%, most of the questions by Cik Hamid. Hopefully that helps. Kita dah mencecah 9.45, so kita ada pengumuman yang perlu dibuat. Boleh ke Pak Razak, you ada apa-apa poin penting yang perlu disebut ataupun saya boleh wrap it up?
Well, there is another session after this where we focus on mistakes and how to avoid making mistake with regard to planning. Okay. Then after that, there is going to be the next session not going to be on a Friday or something like that. I think you can make that
berkenaan dengan tu, saya minta tolong dengan kita punya admin, Mr. Gary, if you can share the poster so that I can explain to our listeners tonight. Okay, anyway, while waiting for the poster, I'm just letting know. Okay, ni ada tulisan kat sini. Kita akan berjumpa lagi pada hari Selasa instead of hari Jumaat. Kita akan berjumpa pada hari Selasa. Selasa seterusnya adalah 9 November. Waktu malam juga InsyaAllah.
This is the one that we talk on planning kan? Planning mistakes.
Yes, planning. Kita akan bercakap tentang kesilapan tentang planning pada 9 November. Dan seterusnya selepas tu kita akan berjumpa setiap 2 minggu. Itu perubahan yang kita akan buat dalam episod-episod Said as it is. So Pak Razak, thank you so much for your time tonight. Terima kasih kepada mereka yang bertanyakan soalan, terus bertanya soalan di Facebook kami. Kita harap to keep in touch and then kita boleh kongsi apa yang kita tahu dan kita juga mahukan feedback daripada anda semua sebagai sebuah aktiviti perkongsian maklumat. So kita jumpa pada 9 November hari Selasa pada 9 malam insyaAllah. Thank you so much Pak Razak.
Okay, thank you
Pak Razak dan semua. Take care. Have a
Alright,
good
bye-bye.
weekend. Bye-bye.